Hi everybody, it's me Lee. I'm just sitting in a nice quiet car park over, I believe I'm on the borders of Eastcote and Ruislip. So I just pulled over for a little rest and it's so peaceful here, the sun's out, it's a lovely day altogether, you know what I mean? Listen to this, I'm going to open the window. See? Just birdsong. Yeah, anyway, so I've been pondering, because it's halfway through the week now, or a little bit more, and so I try to start my week in a positive light. I believe that you should try and spread a little bit of positivity to other people, because it does help. You know, a little smile, a little nod, a good morning here, a good afternoon there. It all helps. It brightens up people, you know. I've noticed it in the different places that I have to visit throughout the day. You know, you walk up to the counter, a big smile on your face. And if you're met with a smile, it's working, you know what I mean? And it helps you. You think, oh, that was nice. That was nice of her or him. But if you're met with, like, what looks like an angry face or a peed off face, you're kind of like, oh, okay. You walk out there thinking, why do I even bother sometimes? You know? So this week, I mean, work has a lot to do with people's moods as well, I think. You know, or lack of work in some people's cases. But in my case, so the road I'm on this week, I have to come in and do something I'm not particularly fond of, because it's a very laborious job. I come in and I have to drive a minibus, and to be honest with you, the people are not too happy. I mean, I can't really blame them, I suppose, because I'm driving them to a workplace, you know, and yeah, the mood, it kind of it's hard to put it into words, but the mood, it kind of comes in, encroaches on yourself. Do you know what I mean? That you may be in a good mood to start with, or your back might be up already because you know what you're getting into. And this job of a morning I'm doing is only for a couple of hours, and after it, I'm great. I'm bouncing around. I'm walking with a skip or a dance in my step and all that. But to be honest, when I'm doing it, it's like having those people on board, and the majority of the time, they're not in the best of moods, and I'm not going to blame them. It's not their fault, but they're not in the best of moods, and it just kind of reflects on my mood. So it puts me in the mood before I've even started the job. Does that make sense? Well, it does to me anyway. So yeah. So the afternoons are pretty nice, because I'm going around to place, doing my particular job, and the people are nice. You know, you could be walking through your place of work, whether it's office buildings, shop, or supermarket, or it could be a hospital, it could be anywhere. When you're walking down the corridor or down the aisles or whatever, you're walking up to someone, whether it's male or female, and if you're smiling, it don't matter whether you know them or not. If you're smiling, then they tend to smile. But then every now and then you get this one where, like, you're smiling and you're in a really good mood. The sun's out, you know, it's not raining, which is a big plus point, isn't it, when it's not raining. And you're just generally in a good mood, and you know, and you're smiling, say morning, because I do that quite often. You know, when I walk past people, morning, afternoon, and then they give you this. They don't even play eye contact. You know they heard you. Do you know what I mean? But they don't even give you eye contact. It's like they're walking around like, not they've got the world on their shoulders, but they're just like moody. And you think, geez, life's too short for that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, like, I'm 56 now, and I'm kind of like, oh, come on. Life's too short to be in a mood like that. And I don't know whether you're a manager, a supervisor, someone down the chain a bit like myself, or what. But surely having that face on you at work is not a good look, is it? Really, when you think about it, it's not good at all. I mean, I like to try and just brighten people's days. You know, I've seen people, like, I held a door open the other day for a little elderly lady, and she looked up and smiled and said thank you, and I said, you're very welcome. Have a nice day and be careful on the pavements out there. You know, and her look, when she looked back at me, it says it all. Like, oh, thanks. Do you know what I mean? So I suppose my message I'm trying to get across is, look, if you are feeling a bit down because it's a certain day of the week, the start of your shift, or you're doing a particular job like myself, then try not to let it affect other people. You know, it's not their fault. Do you know what I mean? If someone's being nice to you, just be nice back. I mean, what's the harm? You know, you might not know them. You may not never even see them again. I don't really see the people I speak to again. You know, a little good morning and whatever. I don't see them. But it is important because, you know, there's times when you just think, you know, is it me? Am I literally coming across as not a nice person? Is that why people are giving me that vibe? You know when you say good morning to someone and they look at you like, oh, excuse me. Jeez. Oh yeah. So anyway, we are approaching the weekend. I hope you all do have a good weekend, by the way. I don't really notice. I'm working on a bit of AI stuff at the moment. I'm kind of interested in AI. Like, but don't get me wrong. If it starts putting people out of work, then yeah, it's not necessarily a good idea, is it? But there are certain parts of the AI world that we should be embracing, like that ChatGPT. Yeah, now that chat is quite useful because I had a small issue with a vape company where my order was late. It wasn't necessarily their fault, it was Royal Mail's fault. But in the same respect, I paid them a fee for a 24-hour shipment. I didn't get it until 3 days later. And they tried to say the delay was on Royal Mail's side. So I used the chat app to put together an email. I sent the chat a couple of screenshots of the receipt, when I placed the order, and the confirmation to say when I would get it. I gave the app that, right, and she wrote out this really, really nice, long, professional email. And she also said at the bottom of the email, paste this into the email and send it, and then let me know what you get back. A day later, I got an email back from the customer service department kind of saying that it wasn't their fault and they blamed Royal Mail and all this kind of stuff. So all I did was I pasted that email onto the chat app, ChatGPT, and the reply I got from the app was basically they're trying to fob you off. So the app automatically wrote a reply, a professional reply, polite but really, really to the point. I was reading it and I thought, oh, hello, but I sent it anyway. And it was basically saying, I'm not going to go right into it, but it was basically saying along the lines of, I understand that delays happen that are out of your control due to third parties and whatnot. But my contract was with you. I've paid you for a certain service that I haven't received. You know, and I've been a loyal customer of yours for all this time and everything. Anyway, long story short, I got a reply back this morning, as it happens, from this vape company saying that it's against our policies to issue refunds or compensation. However, as a goodwill gesture, would you accept this £4 credit to your account in order just to apologise for the inconvenience? So it worked. But you know what? Before I had this app, I've done stuff like that before and I got nothing back. I got nothing but a letter full of jargon that I don't understand and all that kind of stuff. So the app 100% paid off, you know, because they know how to lay it out in such a way. You know, you can even choose and say, look, I'm really fed up with this company and I want them to know that I'm bloody serious, otherwise I'm going to take things further. Then the app will write out a letter matching your tone, but more professionally, so we don't get ourselves in trouble, basically. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the app was a really good thing, and I kind of use it on a daily basis now for certain bits and pieces, you know, writing out stuff, because sometimes what's in my mind I can't always put down into words, like whether it's an email or whether I'm typing stuff out or just trying to find the right words really. So yeah, it's amazing what they could do. So if you get a chance to try it out, I mean, just give it a try. I mean, I know I was dead against AI myself, but now I'm kind of for it in this kind of format where you can have it on your phone and use it however you like. Not in the case of where it's putting people out of work, because that's not necessarily a good thing, is it? You know, but that bit answers the question, you know, you can't have one without the other. Well, I think you can, but anyway. Yeah, so as always, if you are watching this, I would appreciate your thoughts or comments. And if you like what we're doing here, or we even want to change stuff, you know, suggest something to me, and we'll give it a little whirl. You know, subscribe and share the page and all the rest of it. And most of all, stay healthy, stay safe. Okay, be safe out there, because I've seen loads of stuff on the road this week. It's quite frightening, actually. Yeah, so yeah, we must be safe out there, okay? If not for other people, but for ourselves, because we all want to go home at the end of the day, don't we? You know, so bring your speed down a little bit. Always look left, right in the mirrors and all that kind of stuff. And my old boss, Alan, who was a driving instructor, he always taught us that when you're coming up to corners or blind bends and stuff, if there's vehicles parked there, you can look through the vehicles, you can look under them sometimes. You can even look over them. You know, you try it and you will see, you know what I mean? Like, you don't just go to the end of the turning like some people do and look left and right. I'm looking before I come to the end of the turning, thanks to Alan. You know, so like if there's a car park there, I'm looking through the windows to see if it's coming behind that bush in the other direction. I'm still approaching slow. Do you know what I mean? Also, another little tip: make sure you use your indicators at roundabouts. It's very important because it helps the roundabout flow. Otherwise, it don't really flow. You end up sitting there for ages. I mean, who's done that? You're sitting there for ages because the traffic from the right hand side is approaching too fast, and then they turn left, and you think, oh, thanks, mate. I mean, I could have gone. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that's enough ranting. Take care of yourselves. I'll be back soon. All right. I hope you're enjoying the channel so far. And if you are, please subscribe. We are a growing channel, and I'm just trying to build something here. I'm not sure what I'm building. I am building a safe community. But, yeah. Your thoughts anyway. Take care of yourself. Goodbye for now.